Cutting your roses in fall might feel right, but could actually kill next year's blooms. Every September, rose lovers ask the same question: should I prune my roses now or wait for spring? And the truth is, the answer depends on your climate, your rose type, and one crucial mistake most people don't know they're making. In this video, I'll walk you through exactly what to do and what to absolutely avoid so you don't wake up to dead stems and no flowers come spring. Stick with me because by the end, you'll not only know whether to prune, but how to protect your roses all winter long. Tools and materials you'll need. Before we get into the when, here's what you'll need if pruning is on the list this fall. Bypass pruners, sharp and clean to avoid crushing stems. Long-handled loppers, for thicker canes or tall shrub roses. Isopropyl alcohol wipes, to disinfect tools between plants. Heavy gloves, for thorn protection. Mulch, to insulate the root zone. Twine or soft ties, for securing long canes. Optional, compost or organic fertilizer, for fall feeding if applicable. Why this matters in fall? Roses are perennials, but they're sensitive ones. In fall, they're entering dormancy, gradually pulling energy down into their roots. If you prune too aggressively now, you might trigger a flush of new growth just before freezing temps hit. That fresh growth? It's like sending a toddler into a snowstorm in shorts. It won't survive. Fall pruning at the wrong time often leads to winter dieback. Fewer blooms next spring, weak or damaged canes. Let's talk about what to do instead or how to prune smart if your situation calls for it. Step by step, what to do with roses in fall. Step 1. Skip major pruning until spring. Most experts, especially in USDA zones 3 to 7, recommend waiting until spring to do any heavy pruning. That's when you can clearly see what survived the winter and safely shape the plant. Exception: in warm climates, zone 8+, some light shaping in late fall is okay, but even then, less is more. Step 2. Light cleanup is fine. You can remove dead or diseased wood. Spent blooms optional. Then, crossing canes that are clearly not healthy. Tip: always cut at a 45 degrees angle about a quarter inch above a bud facing outward. Step 3. Cut back only to prevent wind damage. If you have tall roses, especially hybrid teas or climbers, you might need to cut them back by 1/3, not to shape them, but to prevent them from whipping in winter wind and breaking at the base. Tip: tie canes loosely with twine to reduce movement. Don't bind too tight, allow airflow. Step 4. Sanitize your tools. Always disinfect your tools between plants with alcohol wipes to avoid spreading diseases like black spot or cane blight. Step 5. Winter protection is better than pruning. Instead of cutting, focus on insulating. Apply 2 to 4 inches of mulch around the base. Wood chips, straw, or compost work great. In colder zones, mound soil or compost 6 to 12 inches up the base of the plant. For grafted roses, cover the graft union completely. Bonus: in windy or icy climates, consider rose cones or burlap wraps in late fall, but only after the ground freezes, or you'll trap moisture and risk rot. Fall rose feeding, should you fertilize now? Many gardeners wonder, should I feed my roses in fall? Here's the key. Stop fertilizing about 6 to 8 weeks before your average first frost date. Why? Because feeding too late encourages new growth, and that tender growth is exactly what gets killed first in freezing weather. Instead, feed lightly in early fall, September, with compost, adds slow-release nutrients, and builds soil health. Bone meal supports root strength going into dormancy. Seaweed extract provides micronutrients and boosts stress resistance. Avoid high nitrogen fertilizers in fall. They're great in spring, not before winter. Summary: feed once in early fall, then stop. Let your plant focus on roots, not leaves. Extra tips for success. Know your zone. In cold zones, late fall pruning is risky. In warm zones, a light trim may help prepare for dormancy. Don't deadhead too late. Leaving the last flowers to form hips signals the plant it's time to sleep. Clean up leaf litter. Fallen rose leaves can harbor pests and diseases. Rake and compost or dispose of them. Know your rose type. Pruning guidelines vary. Not all roses are created equal, and some types need different fall handling. Here's a quick breakdown. Hybrid teas, grandiflorous, floribundas. Tall, upright, often need wind protection. Fall, light cleanup plus cane shortening for wind. No shaping or hard cuts until spring. Shrub roses, like knockouts. Very hardy, often low maintenance. Fall, clean up dead wood and faded flowers. Spring, prune to shape and size. Climbing roses, often pruned in late winter or after first bloom depending on bloom cycle. Fall, tie and secure canes, remove dead wood only. Don't cut main canes now, you'll remove next year's flowers. Miniature roses, less pruning needed overall. Fall, remove black spot leaves, apply mulch. Spring, tidy up and shape lightly. Tip: if you don't know your rose type, check the label or take a photo to your local nursery or extension service. They can help. Mini Tool Spotlight, Bypass Pruners. Why bypass pruners? Unlike anvil pruners, they make clean, angled cuts that don't crush living tissue. Clean cuts heal faster and reduce disease entry points. Look for ergonomic handles and a sap groove. Your hands and roses will thank you. Looking ahead, spring pruning prep. Mark your calendar. Spring pruning starts when you see new buds swell, often right as forsythia begins to bloom in your area. That's when you can cut roses down to 12 to 18 inches, hybrid teas. Remove all deadwood. Shape for structure and airflow. Tip: keep a garden journal or snap photos now. You'll thank yourself in spring when deciding what to keep or remove. To sum it up, don't prune hard in fall. Focus on cleanup, protection, and preparation. Because sometimes, doing less is actually doing more for your garden's future. If you've ever lost a rose over winter and didn't know why, now you do. Let's make this the season your roses come back stronger than ever. Like this video if it helped, subscribe for more weekly tips, and let me know in the comments, do you prune in fall or wait for spring? Let's keep growing together with smarter care, season after season.